Chad is asking why nobody is casting from a bathtub. Well.
All right, Zath, here we are. What do we got cooking? Talk to me, boy.
Here we are, Rain versus them in a rematch from earlier today. This time, though, under different circumstances. And Raptor is shaking his fist. I can see that.
No,
You
I'm
guys
so
can't see
excited.
it. I know
so
you're excited. I know you're excited because Rain is bringing with them the Rhode Island.
Yes! Yes!
Our first time seeing a Rhode Island in the tournament. And there's a Howden Liu, actually two of them. A Yoshino, a Manitar, a Grozovoy, and a Lucian. What do we got to the south? So,
All right, them looking for some revenge for their earlier sweep at the hands of Rain. They were swept down into this bracket earlier. They are bringing 3 destroyers. I'm looking at double Khabarovsk. Identical builds.
almost.
No, it's the same. Oh no, they're not. They're
One
the
of them
same
is
build.
using... Yeah,
Mezuko is running like a fancier captain, but it's the same build.
right. He gets enhanced preventive maintenance.
And then Mixa's running a Yu Yang, full-on torpedo build. That is a radar Yang. Backed up by Dino's Castilla. Over here, we have Ferry's Defense. A whole lot of Tier 1 skills on that boat. Bogdan's Venezia. And then their battleship is an Ohio. We have seen quite a number of battleshipless comps over the course of the day, but both teams here saying, to hell with that, I want my battleship.
Yes. Now, by the way, them, I'm recognizing all these names. That's Lair, Smile,
Yes.
Lair. It's the,
Yep.
you know, the Russian teams that got folded
yep.
into the European
Several
several
of the RU Russian competitive teams moved to the EU server when the RU server was like transferred into its own world, right? It no longer even has the same dev team. And as a result, many of those teams opted to swap to the EU server so they could continue to play and compete in events such as this one.
Exactly.
So, Zath, we're seeing the Khabarovsks head for the island in Bravo 2.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on that one. I like seeing the two of them working together, getting up there as quickly as possible. They're going to see the Rhode Island, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm a Rhode Island, am I excited about pushing 2 Khabarovsks and those 6-kilometer mini nuke torpedoes? Like, I don't know, man.
This is true. Now, Rhode Island has lower caliber guns. What are they, 356s or something like that?
Yes, they are 356s. They do not get any kind of fancy accuracy bonuses, but Rhode Island does get 9-kilometer radar to go with a speed boost and a typical heal.
Yep. And because they're lower caliber guns, they reload a little bit quicker.
I think the base reload's about 22 seconds. That sounds about right. I love that ship. I have been doing ridiculously hilarious things with that ship in ranked. It is so good.
It's a very fun ship to play. I think the biggest problem with her is her armor scheme makes you think you want to play farther away from the action, but it's actually the opposite. You want to play closer to the action.
She is honestly better at like mid-range, right? In my opinion. Castilla getting in on the action, a whole bunch of pain going in on Kim Shaewon's Grozovoy here, basically down to a third or a quarter HP already. Pumping out that first heal, but can't hang for long. The Yu Yang, that's Mixa coming up here with the radar to ensure he cannot get away. And that's going to draw some more Khabarovsk fire, I presume.
Yeah, I'm confused as to why the pause before the radar, but maybe it was to get Mizuko's Kava around the island.
I think Mizuko called for a wait. A Mix is turning into these torpedoes.
I see it.
Gonna take at least one.
Nope.
No.
Desync.
Right under the screws. Crazy. We even keep seeing that today.
Yeah, well.
They're gonna get this Grozovoy. Couple of shells, all it's gonna take. He's on 1,000 HP, clinging to the top of the map.
He's got a heal.
They're not gonna get him. He's dark now. Wow. Mizuko is getting punished for this play, though.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely getting hammered between the Lucian and the Howden Liu. It's on double fires. Double fires with his DCP still 10 seconds away.
Yeah, I don't see him coming back from this.
He's dark. Well, he is dark, but the shells are already in the air that should kill him, and they do. So them with a very aggressive play, trying to secure the kill early on the Rain Grozovoy ends up costing them a destroyer themselves.
Yeah, I like the aggression. It just didn't work out in their favor that time.
No, I really do like the aggression. And now the Rhode Island making his presence felt, slapping the Yu Yang with a big pile of HE. Surprising Mixa hasn't turned back to starboard to cut the island in there. There he goes. All the Howden Liu bombs coming in.
Yeah, we might see a Dutch oven here.
Right? No, he lead him
right on him.
He spread them all over. He did get a few in there.
Dutch oven.
Oh, he got him! Ho, ho, ho!
Dutch oven.
Gangbarang. An artist with the Dutch ovening, Zaf. Look at that.
Yep. And that's his second kill of the game.
Already 2 big kills for Rain here. Are in control early here on Tears of the Desert.
I'll tell you what. If you are them, how do you get back into this?
I don't think you do, Zaf. I mean,
I don't
you
think so
can see they're gonna try and make a play for C, right? They've shoved the Ohio mid. The defense is down here working his way around, backed by the Venezia. But already, Gangbarang's headed back with his Howden Liu. The Rhode Island, I won't say the Rhode Island is wasted there, because the Rhode Island and the Grozovoy can keep the A cap locked down. Everybody else, and you can see it, Intaro, Gangbarang, World Spawn, Artorias, everybody else can now come back to defend C and do it handily.
Look at World Spawn even just not even caring.
Yeah.
Just,
it's
I
gonna
dare
take
you to
this,
shoot me.
It's gonna take this kind of cheek and the Ohio to like dev strike him. That might allow them back into this game, maybe.
Here it comes.
They got a reset on Ferry. Some good sap going into Artorias' Howden Liu, but nope, the Ohio salvo completely whiffs.
Yep.
The Yoshino, Seth, we didn't talk about the Yoshino, right?
9 points.
Yoshino for at this price point is a ship that first of all, I'm excited to see it, because this is a ship that I really like at tier 10. It's a ship that really only has one good use, and that is to farm fire and HE damage off of, targets that can't really hit her at long range.
Yep.
But in this instance, she's way better than a Janan for only 2 more points.
Well, and frankly, in some regards, even better than, say, a Napoli or a Goliath that does the same role. One thing that a lot of people forget about is Yoshino's got those 20-kilometer team-killing torps.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
And I say team-killing because at the time she was released, team-killing was still a possibility.
Was still a thing, that's true.
But that has changed, so now Lucar can just fire his torps with reckless abandon. He doesn't really care.
Eobard's Haba now in the middle of the map in an AP gunfight against Gangbarang's Howden Liu.
Yeah,
a little surprised to see some of this.
He's just trying to get the focus fire off of the Ohio, which makes sense.
Ohio comes in for a decent little chunk of chip damage there. Yoshino trying to add his guns. Excuse me, that's the Venezia. Bogdan trying to add his guns to Gangbarang's misery.
Deepwater torps coming in on the Ohio. Oh, I'll skill no luck. Gangbarang
Gangbarang flexing the bombs again. Yeah, I think he is. I think the Venezia is the one that has the good shots, but it's the Ohio that gets the kill. So Ferry's defense finally does bag C. They're going to turn around and bail him out of there just in time for the Lushun to reverse his way in. Them only down 1 ship now, claiming Gangbarang, getting some revenge. But look what's happening back on the 2-3 line. The Rhode Island, the Grozovoy not being idle, they're pushing as well.
Yeah, they're pushing down Dino's Castilla, but Dino's able to continue sailing around and try to make a play with cross shots like an Antaro. Pretty far away, though.
Yeah. It feels like Rain maybe tightening the noose around these guys a little bit, right? It's now a north-south fight. Rain roughly arrayed in a line across the C and the D lines here. kind of pushing south steadily, and with a significant health advantage over right around 80,000 health.
Yep. Arturius is going to step into sea. There it is. And now they're going to pretty much control roughly half the map, maybe a little bit more, as them is forced to give more ground. Dino's trying to shoot into Arturius' Howden as well. Arturius is being forced now to angle to one of the targets. So Castilla AP coming in, doing a little connections.
They're trying to secure the kill on Ferry, who was seconds away for getting to his last heal when Artorias gets him with the Howden Liu. 2 kills out of the Howden Liu bombs in this game, Zath.
Mm-hmm.
Range is dunking these guys.
Yep. Bogdan Laska trying to get in on this along with the Dino's Castilla trying to take out Arturius. He is healing again. One of the problems is Howden Liu can burn longer, but they're using AP and SAP, so.
Well, and Artorius was dark for a moment, then got caught. Now that Habarov's got his broadside with AP and more of the SAP falling in, I think they are going to end up killing Artorius here. There he goes.
Yes. Is this another Dutch oven, though? On Deepest Dungeons, Ohio. His DCP is active.
Deepest Dungeon is out of heals on 1,300 HP.
Yep. So
now
he's pulling over for some Starbucks.
Yep. His game is basically over. The C-Cap contested, going nowhere. Rain up a ship, up about 140 points here. 9 minutes to play. Castilla's going to have to make some uncomfortable choices here as he's got an island directly off his bow. Going to make the cut to port.
It's a very competitive first game.
Now caught in there. What'd you say?
So I said it's a very competitive first game. It's fun to see like just the back and forth here.
It feels like them maybe overplayed their hand up at the top of the map a little bit, especially losing both Habas. But I like the aggression, and they've recovered well enough that this is still, like you say, a very competitive game. I think they are going to lose in the end. They're about to lose the second Haba. There he goes. And so in the end, they are not going to win. But man, they made Rain work for this. This was not like a cakewalk.
Exactly.
I'll say this. Rain has absolutely traded their health better. I mean, look where they are from a health perspective.
Oh, absolutely. 3 times the hit point pool.
Yeah.
Dino's going down here. Yep.
Yeah, Dino should die here. Yeah. I feel like he was almost like asking for it. Like, look, that game's over. Let's just get this done.
I kind of feel like Eobard did the same thing. So, which is fine. Hey, if it's at the end, you go down swinging. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, at this point, the Ohio's coming out to play. He's going to sail in front of these torpedoes that may or may not have the range.
Yep.
He's actually dark right now, Zath. Look at this as he moves between the islands. They don't have the range.
Fizzle out.
They don't have the range. 30 seconds now. They're trying to farm out Bogdan and seal the deal.
Yep. But Deepest gets spotted, and he will go down first, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he ran the island. He didn't make it. And
actually,
they're
both going to go down.
They're both going to die. Right at the very end, Rain does get the clean sweep here in game 1.
Yep.
All right. Bam. Bam, bam. Like so. There we go.
Bam, bam.
All right. Well, game 1 in the books. Let's see what happens as if history will repeat itself, if Rain will 2-0 these guys again. They did earlier in the day. I'm actually going to go back and look now. What maps did they play the first time? Here we go. What did they play? They played Warrior's Path and Riposte the first time.
Hey, Raptor,
now I'll say this. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Finish your thought. I got something funny to say, but finish your thought.
In the first series, Rain won both games, but them never scored more than 630 points. Whereas in that game, they had like 700 or 800 at the end. So they're getting better, right? They're slowly getting better. What were
They're
you gonna
not
say?
quite dead. I'm getting better.
Not quite dead yet. Not getting better.
I think I'll go for a walk.
I feel happy. What do you got?
No, I was gonna say I was looking at the rest of the bracket, and interestingly enough, TSMYQ is facing against TSMY again. So we have quality versus performance yet again meeting each other. So that's another rematch.
Are they in that losers? Are they in that losers
loser
chunk of the
bracket round? Yeah, they're in the loser bracket final right now.
So they're squaring off again. I see it.
Yes. So I thought I'd share that. That's kind of funny. We caught them earlier.
That is. Yeah.
ATFD and VOR are also going to face each other in the losers bracket final. So that's 3 rematches. And actually that's 4. All four regions have a rematch in their finals. How crazy is that?
In that losers bracket. Yeah. Look at that. That KSC Resin match went 2-1 earlier. I bet that's a good match.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes all 3 games, and this one doesn't, we might sneak over and grab that one.
Yep. Absolutely. I think it's worth
That'd be
thinking
good.
about,
Mm-hmm.
These guys at least have been pretty efficient about starting and everything, so we might have a good chance. If it goes 2-0.
If. No way to know, but if.
Mm-hmm. Double check a couple of things.
I will say this, right? And this is maybe a point worth making to the organizers when we talk about scheduling this particular event. It generally doesn't take. There's only, King of the Sea, 9v9, 20-minute timers on a game. And sometimes you have games go all 20 minutes.
Sure.
These 7v7 games with these cap configurations, they generally don't go to full duration, right? So there might be, speculatively, an opportunity for them to say, instead of 90 minutes for a round, 80 minutes for a round. Now, having said that, we have yet to actually finish early a best of 3 series today, so I don't know.
Well, that's always the hard part when you're putting these tournaments together is you need to build in time for delays, for problems, for restarts, et cetera, et cetera. So, it does happen, but I like for example, the ref right now, he said, we're going to start at 58 after the hour, which is 10 minutes from now, or whenever everybody's ready. And I like that. When you've got your group going, just start it if everybody's ready. There's no reason to sit for another 2 or 3 minutes because somebody somewhere says you start now. And what's nice about this is it does give us that flexibility to maybe try to find another game. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Fair point.
One of the things that's always difficult with tournaments is knowing what's going on in the training rooms and that sort of thing. These guys have a ref running each training room, so they know. Are they forming up? Are they
100%.
making pick bands? Have they gone into battle? And as a matter of fact, I would like to take a moment and highlight Turkish was actually keeping us updated while we went and caught that pickup game 2, CL versus RB. He was posting, okay, they're voting is complete, and that sort of thing. And it was really cool that the refs are communicating that stuff with the streamers. It makes it so easy for us to know what's going on, so we can try to find a game 3 if we need to. The situation, going into the next game that we're scheduled for, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
All right, now you're spending a lot of time looking to your side. Everything okay?
I'm just looking. You were saying Turkish was posting these updates. Where would I have seen that?
The streamer chat. He posted it in the streamer channel. He added both you and I way back in 8:30,
I see it.
8:48. Yeah.
I see it. Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's the nice thing, right? Like, I was able to confirm with him, wait, are we starting at the scheduled time or are we advancing earlier our group,
Right. I got it. Okay. Yep, I'm with you.
So
I had missed that. Sometimes they do that in like the strings in the Discord they build for the individual games, and so I was curious.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of channels that we all have to try to follow and keep track of and everything. So
Now, one of the things I want to look at as we get prepped for this next game, and I know there's a link in here in the streamer announcements. I got to find it. There we go. The flagship tracker.
Yep.
I want to
Let's take a
see
look.
if them. Okay, are they the only team? No. So right now, out of 16 teams, there are, am I reading this correctly, 4 teams that have not used a single flagship at all.
Yep.
4.
Yep.
No,
RSTC.
RSTC,
Which I think is Asia.
TSYMQ have not. TWA has not. Them has not. And ELSR. So
Now, if you
5
look at-
teams have not used a flagship at all.
Right. And if you look at those teams, those are all very strong teams from each region.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, meanwhile, TSYM has used 5 and Resin has used 6.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, time for me to go do my giveaway thing. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. Get that running. Okay. We haven't done this tournament in a while, and it sometimes is hard to get back into the flow of an event.
Yeah.
This one feels okay. I mean, after a couple of games, okay, I'm starting to the cobwebs are breaking loose about about some of the rules quirks and everything, and how this whole thing comes together. So that feels good.
Yep. For me, this is weekend number 4 in a row of casting tournaments. So I'm in the opposite. I've done it so much, and it's like here we go
wife
again.
Is probably ready for you to not be doing this, right?
She's not the only one, frankly.
Well, Zath, I'm glad you're here.
Well, thanks. I'm glad you're here too.
This is a lot more fun when you've got a partner to work it with, right?
Oh yeah.
Now,
yeah.
Were you doing the enterprise stuff? Were you doing that with somebody?
Oh yeah, I did it with Puddin'.
Excellent. Good.
And I had such a hard time when I've been casting with you. As you probably know, when Puddin' and I cast, he always calls caps apples, bacon, chocolate, and in some cases donuts.
Yes.
Because
I recall this particular quirk.
We're waking up super early in the morning. We're both bleary-eyed, and we're both thinking of food. So
Yep.
It's interesting because I've almost called it a couple of times. Oh look, someone's going on apples. I'm like, oh wait, I gotta say alpha. Or
I mean, feel free, man.
Yeah. But we did the Enterprise G together, and then of course before that was Team League, which we didn't cast together, obviously, because it's just a streamer and their team going. So
Team League, you bounce around. Exactly. I was sorry I missed that one. Team League is always one of my favorite events to do, and the timing of this one was just so unfortunate in terms of that we already had that European vacation planned. At the same time, it sounds like you guys had enough. I don't want to say complaints. I want to say feedback on the new format.
Well, I mean, Wargaming has said, okay, we're gonna do King of the Sea once a year now instead of twice. We're gonna bring some other tournaments up as ways to encourage viewership, encourage people to play, try to make things more accessible to the player base, right? Mm-hmm. So Warship Masters is one example of that, and I think when these tournaments are being brought up, they're also trying to kind of grow them beyond where they were before. Warship Masters used to be 1 weekend, now it's 2. Right?
Now it's 2.
So, and they did the same thing with Team League. They had more teams involved, and they had a placement bracket after a team was eliminated, so that those teams could still play and all that kind of stuff. And so what you've done is you've taken your core concept, which works, it has worked for years, and now you're set, okay, we're going to add all of this on top of it to try to, make it bigger, grander, whatever, right?
Right.
And I think that the challenge from that is when you're trying to put things together with it and, integrate all that together, yet make those changes, there's a lot of growing pains involved. And I think we saw that with Team League.
Okay, fair enough. I love, what I've always loved about Team League is that, you get so many of us that do this kind of stuff, And sometimes I feel like maybe we take it a little too seriously because we're trying to give that kind of professional sort of feel to what we're doing. Because you know the teams are putting in a lot of effort, and in my opinion, it's I expect no less of myself than they're giving in terms of effort.
Sure.
But one of the things that I've always loved about Team League is that it's much more relaxed, right? You're there to have a great time. You're like, yeah, you're rooting for your team, but do you really care if they win? I mean, it's not going to make or break anything. And you get to BS with some awesome people, and of course, as the field shrinks, you get more and more awesome people all in chat at the same time, and it just becomes this raucous, hilarious mess by the end.
The problem is that last part didn't really happen as much.
Didn't happen.
Disconnect because of the
Right.
placement
Right.
matches. So
Right.
it's something
Right.
they're gonna have to figure out. What do they want more? What matters to them more? And then they're going to have to make a decision, and that's fine.
Yep.
But there's a lot of other tournaments out there. Enterprise G is one that I really like. The idea of starting with 3 versus 3, then building to 6 versus 6, then building to 9 versus 9. Kind of fun.
I didn't know that's how it worked. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So by the end, you've got 3 different groups of 3 that don't necessarily all know each other trying to coordinate. It turned into a lot of fun.
Interesting. All right. Well, these teams are both here. They're both ready. I suspect we're going to be dropping into this game very, very soon. And I gotta say, Zath, we've seen a couple of different takes on Hotspot today. I'm curious to see how these guys approach it. The EU competitive brain in Warships is always a little different than everybody else's, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is. Absolutely is. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I don't think them is out of this by any means. They can come back and force a game 3. We both want that, so we go to Riposte.
I hope so.
So we shall see.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of low-key rooting for him this game because I want to see that game on Riposte.
Look, as casters, we are supposed to be impartial. I always root for the team that will take us to a game 3 or a game 5, depending on the situation. Wouldn't always root for Team Bravo because Bravo always has the worst spot, and most of the maps, the alpha spawn is the stronger positioning. So, anyway, it looks like it's time to go, huh?
Yep, we are dropping in. So why don't we go ahead? Let's see. Yep, we're using the regular overlay again. Why don't we go ahead and get in here?
You got it, dude.
Let me get the camera plugged into the right place. Ooh, indeed. All right, Zath. I'm going to push this button. Talk to us about the Rain lineup.
So Rain, with 1 game up over them, is bringing a Daring and Taro. Gangbang is then a Tromp, so they're looking for the mini Dutch oven there. World Spawn is in a Z42, not a 52, so slightly less hydro coverage and all that good stuff. You've got Kim Chewan in the Venezia, Lucar in our first time looking at a Novosibirsk as a flagship. Arturius is in the Haolu for the proper Dutch ovens, and AI Gunner Dastard is now in a Yoshino. What do we got to the south?
First Novosibirsk we've seen today. I'm really curious about that. All right. Well, them backs to the wall, needing this match to continue to stay in this particular bracket. Otherwise, to avoid being the EU 4 seed is where we're at.
Exactly.
Sticking with a fairly familiar lineup, right? We've got double Habarovsk again, Medzuko and Eobard. Again, Mixa and the Yu Yang. And I gotta say, I don't feel like any of those destroyers played badly last game, so I think it's gonna work. Ferries Venezia. We have Dino in a Howden Liu himself now, and Bogdan remaining in a Venezia. So double Venezia, Howden Liu. Man, these cruiser lineups are so weird today. And then Deepest remaining with his first and bestest love is Ohio.
You got it. Yeah, I think some of the cruiser love is because of the points and because of the battleship. You don't see a lot of the big ones.
Yep. An interesting choice here. And of course, one team having a battleship and one team not. To see if them's able to parlay that into points somehow.
parley.
Now, I love the Dutch ovening. DNO knows exactly where World Spawn is going to be camped out, and he has already got the planes going in.
It's one nice thing about using Howden Liu on this map. World Spawn obviously saw the planes and said, nah, and turned a different way, but...
Yep. Chose a different path, but he's going to have to deal with that threat the entire game in some fashion or other as long as DNO hangs out over there.
Reminds me of
Now,
Commander mode for Battlefield 4. You just pull out a tablet.
In the time that it took Rain to grab C, the near cap, has already grabbed B, their far cap.
Yep.
Just because of the speed of the Habas, even though neither Haba used a speed boost to get there.
Right. And obviously Rain knows that's where the Habas are heading. So.
Oh, sure. Doesn't make any sense for them to play the 9-10 line. That just seems like a giant waste.
Mm-hmm. That being said, it would be kind of fun to see them, tag teaming Lukars, Novosibirsk right now.
I was going to say, the Venezia Novosibirsk kind of pairing here on this flank really intrigues me, Zaf, because, the Venezia SAP does really horrible things to most of the Russian supercruisers.
Agreed. And not only that, but, Rain expending a lot of points, investing a lot of points on the 9-10 line, and it's just going to sit there. Kind of like what we saw with the Annapolis on the same setup,
Deepest Dungeons, Ohio, setting up shop here along the G line in the southwestern corner of the sea cap. Looking for cross shots, possibly looking for Esters Yoshino, which he now can spot thanks to the Habarovsks moving up the 3 line. Must be out of range though. 21 clicks. I don't know how his base range off the top of my head. Surprised we haven't seen another Dutch oven from DNO.
Yeah, he had an opportunity, several of them. I have a feeling they expect the Z42 to just left C, because why would you need to stay in it? But they're backing Deepest Dungeon in to find out if he's still in this cap or not.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough, Seth, look at what the Habs. They went up the 3 line, made an immediate 90-degree turn, and are cutting back towards mid.
Okay.
It's an interesting play. They're getting out of the way as Ferry's Venezia pushes up the 3 line. The Novosibirsk now, there's the SAP doing good work on that Russian cruiser.
Right, and he also had several Dutch ovens earlier. Here's the third one, and did that stick a fire? No. So, okay. Didn't quite come out the way they had hoped, but it is what it is. I have a feeling that the Kaba's changing like that was to try to throw off the RPF or whatever, radio location.
I gotta say, Zad, if I'm bogged, and I am excited about this entire engagement because he has such a smashingly good advantage that he can possibly flex there with that SAP plunging through the deck of that Russian cruiser.
Absolutely. The problem is he's so far away, he's got to kind of turn around.
Well, yes, but we talk about it. You want the plunging fire, right? The trick is you've got to be able to spot him at an angle that you're not vulnerable, which is, I presume, why he's holding his fire right now.
Yep. Now, he does have the scout plane consumable or module in the first slot, so when he does put the plane up, he'll have it available for a lot longer. But as you can see, Lukar has now gone dark.
Abarovsk swanning around the middle of the map, farming some HP off of Artorius' Howden Liu as Mix's Yang ducks into the extreme bottom corner of the A-cap. The Trump bombs come in and don't land. Blind fire from the Yoshino does clip Mixa for a little reset.
Yep, they know where he is. Take a look at C-cap, though, by the way. Dino has backed into the C-cap.
Yeah.
And Artorius is almost dead.
Yeah, look at what these Habarovsks have done to Artorius' Howden Liu, how quickly they've done it. That burn duration, they're just absolutely brutalizing him for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to burn out, I think. His next heal's 20 seconds away. Yeah, they're going to get this kill right here.
Yep. First blood goes to them.
Big first blood going to them as Mixa does succeed in flipping C right before, I think Intaro pushed him off before then. But
yes,
they are going to be able to flip.
Yeah.
Flip A. They are going to flip C.
Right.
Both Habarovsks using the island. They know approximately where World Spawn is. They're setting up right here, and the fact that they aren't getting murdered means that he has no shots.
Yeah. Z42 Hydro picking up both Kabbas, though. It's kind of...
Yes, they're just sitting there, but they can't do anything about it at the moment.
I mean, they could. They could just charge, but they probably don't want to because of torps and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's the trick. I'm betting these guys are not rudder build Habas. Neither one of them. Nope. Gun reload. Maximum DPM there off these Habarovsks.
Mm-hmm.
The other trick is they don't quite know where the Z42 is. They can suspect, but they don't know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I mean, against radar, you can say, all right, we'll just tank it. But against Hydro, it lasts so darn long. I mean, there's 2 minutes. There's 2 minutes of Hydro left.
Yeah.
So right now is the perfect time to go for it. The smoke is gone. I mean, it's either that or sit there and die.
With the smoke being gone, now's the time, and it looks like, the smoke is back already. Does Z42 get the short British smokes, like that kind of thing?
Yes, and he's also running the captain that's got the extra consumable specialist. The buffed.
Going broadside, World Spawn swaps to the AP. He's going to put him out in 3 salvos.
That was a big misplay there.
Oh, man. The Z42 AP against these Habas is
and now Mizuko is going to make
brutal.
Mizuko's making the same mistake.
Didn't they just see what happens here? Now, Mizuko's going to at least survive a little longer, I think.
I mean, they had such a great opportunity to go after that Z42. I just don't understand.
He does.
The fear of the Hydro.
To escape the Hydro, yeah. He manages to escape the Hydro and sneak away on 281 hit points. His next heal 10 seconds away.
World Spawn got some great mileage out of that ship right there.
So Rain claiming back some points, but that kill still upside down 30 points and falling. 11 minutes to play. Now
Venezia has gone into full push mode. He's going to try to take out Lukar's Novosibirsk.
Oh, the Ohio just dunked Kim's Venezia. I mean, he took 30K easy. The worst of it is he's about to get pushed from ferry from his stern, I'm guessing.
I mean, if you're that Venezia,
ferry is there. Now does Dastard have AP in the barrel? He's going to have a brilliant shot right here.
Mix is in trouble in the middle.
Ferry's even slowing down and stopping. Yep, AP coming in from the Yoshino, but I think Ferry had angled decently. Oh, goodness. No, he
hadn't. You were saying?
At least 2 big citadels in there from Ferry from the Yoshino he didn't even know was there. Them up on points, up on caps, up on health, but Rain not making it easy on them here in Game 2. Another big Ohio salvo seeking Kim's Venezia in that smoke. Coming up empty.
Yep. You know, Gangbang is coming to try to help keep his flagship alive.
Yeah, Bogdan's has pushed the Novosibirsk all the way to the 10 line. One of those really weird engagements where, you know, the Italian cruiser really does hold all the cards here.
Yeah, but he's getting into a position where he's taking a 2v1 on now.
Well, so he's got 2 problems from where I sit. One is he's now too close.
Yep.
Right? The Venezia wants the SAP to plunge through the Russian cruiser's deck, and he's chased too far. And now, you're right, Gangbarang's here and is trying to pitch in. The radar's going to pick him up in the smoke. And now the Venezia has no choice but to just stay bow in and keep going.
And charge. And hope to get on the side.
And hope to either get on his side or land the torpedoes. Only one ship is walking away from this engagement, Sath. It's just simply a question of who it is.
Now I see Howden Liu coming through CCAP. He might be getting set up for a shot. No, Laska stopped.
Oh, wow.
And he dies to the Trump of all things.
He got smacked by something else, too. Big points for Rain. They needed that. They're up a ship. Still down on points, though. As the Yoshino, that's Dastard, pushing down the 3 line, threatening the B cap.
Dino also took a Tromp Torp just now from Gangberang. Ouch.
And now the Novosibirsk, out of heals, down to his last 16,000 health, pushed to the B line. Now finally going to be able to flex a little bit of muscle on this Howden Liu.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, look at the points, though. Them still wins on points in 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Assuming
Brain's
Dino
gotta
doesn't
secure
go
this
down.
kill quickly. I think Dino is going to go down because he's a Howden Liu and he's burning. He's going down for sure.
Yeah.
The question is, can he take Gangberang with him? The answer is no, not yet. There's the Yoshino on to B. That's Dastard. Deepwater Torps coming in. One in the bow.
Yep.
You know, the Ohio has to be salivating at this shot. Yoshino is fairly soft. Who was that? The Venezia. Ferry's Venezia on the bottom of the map with a big AP salvo for 15K.
Payback.
Yoshino's in trouble.
Torpedo?
Dastard taking another Deepwater Torp in the bow. The Ohio seals the deal. Just like that. More points in them's pocket. Mid at 19 on the timer as they retain the control of the C cap.
Yeah, but now Ohio is clearly the focus target.
They've got World Spawn lit with the Yang radar. They're going to get some resets here. They need to try and get this kill. Can they? All of those shots missed. World Spawn still reversing. The Ohio's getting resets off of his secondaries.
Yes. And he's dark.
Yep, they got some blind resets there between the Venezia, the Ohio. Oh, big blind salvo there from the Ohio.
They're still trying for it. The Ohio's hitting the beach, though.
35 seconds. If they can kill the Ohio, they're going to get a time extension they desperately need. 12 seconds to the Ohio's next heal. 23
DCP
seconds in the
20.
match. They're going to get him.
No,
He's gonna
well, they're
die
going to
before
DCP. 2
It's not gonna
seconds.
matter. It's the shells. The shells right there. They get him. Right as the heal comes available, a big kill that flips the score back in Rain's favor. We have a lead change. World Spawn on 1,000 health, trying to finish up B.
Yeah, he just took another blind shot from Ferry's Venezia.
And the Habarosks, that's Medzuko, charging into the C cap to try and hold it as long as he possibly can. They can't spot him anymore. Island cover finally coming in. The Tromp bombs falling. Let's see if he gets anything out of these. 10 seconds now. They need a blind fire kill on World Spawn. That's probably the only way they have to win this game.
Yeah. I just don't see it.
It's not gonna. Nope, it's not gonna happen. It's too late. Wow. Wow.
What a crazy finish.
How did Rain push? And look at that. Look how many ships they have on a sliver of health.
I mean,
wow.
Just a crazy game.
Wow.
Them had such a good chance. They had so many chances to win this, and it just took. Like I really feel that those two Kabas sitting there and just taking it, and then finally deciding, you know what? Okay, let's just turn and then lose like all in one case and half of my health in the other.
Yeah,
that's what sealed it for them right there.
I mean, the misplay with the Habas, and I also think that, again, we talked about at the time, the Venezia, Bogdan pushing so far up the map, all on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've pushed the Novosibirsk that far to the back of the map, man, you don't need to chase him anymore. He's not a factor in this fight. He's way out. Just turn around. Do your thing.
Right.
You know?
Because you know he eventually has to come back to you. So
yes. He's on the 10 line. He can't give any value back there.
well, Rain with another 2-0 sweep.